If a war broke out next month, would you lose half your money, or double it? Most people don't realize there's a difference. The 5 rules in this video decide which side you end up on. The pattern is older than you think. 1815, Nathan Rothschild made the largest single-day profit in market history during the Battle of Waterloo. Not by fighting, by knowing what was coming 48 hours before London's traders. 1939, Howard Hughes had already pivoted his entire company to defense contracts 2 years before Pearl Harbor. 1975, Lebanese families who held gold instead of pounds left the country with their wealth intact. Those who didn't, lost everything. 2024. Russian oligarchs watched their European assets get frozen, and quietly tripled down on commodities, gold, and yuan-denominated trade. Their wealth grew anyway. Different wars. Same 5 rules. Rule 1. Liquidity beats net worth. A house worth $1 million you can't sell isn't wealth. It's a liability with property tax. In 1939 Poland, families with their wealth in real estate lost everything. Families with the same wealth in gold coins escaped, and rebuilt in Argentina, in America, in Switzerland. Same lesson in Lebanon 1975. The wealthy weren't the ones with the biggest houses. They were the ones who could leave on a Tuesday and still have spending power on Wednesday. If your money can't move, it can't survive a war. Make liquidity your first priority, even if it costs you yield. Rule 2. Spread across borders. In 2022, when Russia invaded Ukraine, banks froze. Currency collapsed. ATMs ran dry in 48 hours. The Ukrainians who kept everything in their local bank lost access overnight. The ones who held assets in 3 or 4 jurisdictions, a US brokerage, a Swiss bank, a crypto wallet, foreign real estate, barely felt it. The rule is simple. Never keep more than 50% of your wealth in one country. Especially the country you live in. If that sounds paranoid in peacetime, ask any Argentine who watched their pesos lose 99% of their value since 2002. Ask any Lebanese family who watched their bank deposits get locked behind a wall they still can't cross. Rule 3. Currency dies first. Every war in modern history has destroyed at least one currency. Often more. Germany 1923. Hungary 1946. Argentina, Venezuela, Zimbabwe, Lebanon, Turkey. The currencies of the losers always go first, but the currencies of the winners get devalued too. The wealthy hedge with 3 things. Gold, US dollars, and real assets that produce income, farmland, energy, infrastructure. In 2002 Argentina, $1 in pesos is now worth less than 1/10 of a cent. $1 in gold is worth more than $9. Same starting point. 9,000 times the result. Currency is a coupon. Gold and productive land are a position. Rule 4. Skills outlive capital. In every refugee story across history, the same pattern repeats. The person with money but no skills loses everything within a year. The person with skills and no money rebuilds within 5. Doctors, engineers, mechanics, nurses, programmers, electricians, translators, accountants. These people land in any country and immediately produce value. A bond portfolio cannot cross a border. A coding skill can. The richest war survivors weren't the ones with the most cash on day one. They were the ones who could earn dollars in any city in the world, and then use Rule 3 to protect what they earned. Rule 5. Position before, never during. This is the rule that separates the wealthy from everyone else. They never react to the news. They prepare 6 to 12 months before anyone is reading headlines. Nathan Rothschild positioned for Waterloo before the battle was decided. Joseph Kennedy exited stocks before 1929. Buffett raised cash before 2008. Howard Hughes pivoted to defense contracts in 1937, 2 years before Pearl Harbor. By the time the average person sees the threat, the price is already gone. The discount on assets, the window to move money, the path out, all closed. The wealthy don't predict war. They make sure it doesn't matter if it comes. Here's the part most people miss. Every single one of these 5 rules, liquidity, jurisdictional spread, hard assets, portable skills, early positioning, makes you richer in peacetime too. The same habits that survive a war compound during stability. War doesn't change the rules of wealth. It just punishes the people who ignored them. The next crisis is coming. It always is. The only question is whether you'll spend the next 6 months preparing, or the next 6 years recovering.